Next, we're gonna see how we feel first in standing. I want you to first just inhale. Feel your pelvic floor gently drop down as you inhale. Exhale, feel it gently lift. Now, we want to see how our position affects our body. So one easy way to do that is find a countertop and lean over the countertop. First, we want a neutral position. So hip, pelvis, and ribs pretty relatively stacked. So you're going to have a natural curve in your low back. First, just inhale. Exhale. See where you feel that. You should feel a gentle movement in your pelvic floor. Next, we're going to tuck our butt as much as we can. What this does, that posterior pelvic tilt actually shuts off the low back a little bit. Inhale, see where you feel it. You may feel like the breath only goes into like the vagina, into the front of the vulva, and that's okay. Now go into an anterior pelvic tilt, make that lordosis, that mid-back, low back curve even bigger, and you'll feel your hamstrings stretch. And take a deep breath in. You may feel that more in the rectum. So again, find that neutral position. You can wiggle it out, kind of go side to side, front, back. Find what feels comfortable for you. The goal is to get the area where you feel the most pelvic floor relaxation and contraction, where you get the most movement. Oftentimes we're stuck in where we're a little bit too tilted this way, or our butt's a little too tucked and we're just using those hamstrings instead of the pelvic floor. So again, slight curve in the low back. Feel where you feel that most pelvic floor movement. And now we're going to see, by turning our feet outwards, what happens. Are you able to get a fuller breath? Because that change of feet, moving the feet just slightly outwards, makes that transverse abdominis, that muscle in the front of the abdomen, fire a little bit more. It also helps the glutes fire a little bit more. So if you're using those, it can help activate them and make them work a little bit more. So again, just try to breathe in and out. Now turn your feet inward. Same thing. Inhale. Exhale. This stretches your lower pelvic floor closer to the rectum. So if you're feeling more rectal tightness, you may feel that this is the area that you get the most expansion. You get that most movement through the pelvis. And that's good. That's just awareness. It tells us what's going on. So next, we're going to do the squat. And I know that you may have heard that squats are bad during with prolapse, but that's just not true. It's how you do it that matters. So feet shoulder width apart, and we're first just going to go down, thinking about spreading our feet away from each other. We aren't actually spreading them away as we squat, but just nice shoulder width apart. Pretend like your feet are getting spread apart. Go down. Deep breath in. Out. In. Out. And up. Do you feel your pelvic floor move? Does it bulge down? This time we're going to do it again, but we're going to pay attention to the ischial tuberosities, those little bones right there. So we're going to drop down. Inhale. As you drop down, and inhale, you should feel the ischial tuberosity spreading apart. And then as you exhale and come up, pulling your feet together, you should feel the adductors firing and the ischial tuberosities lifting the pelvic floor. Okay, inhale. Pelvic floor opening, widening, expanding. Exhale, lifting. Next, we're going to do a lunge. What we're going to do is just go forward, bring the foot down, and in this position, breathe in, out, in, out. Again, just being aware of what's going on with our pelvic floor. And then you can switch the position of the lunge, in, out, in, out. Oftentimes when we get into the lunge, we realize, oh, I have more tension on the right side, more tension on the left side, or, oh, I can't go without dropping this hip. So once we get the hip stabilized, the pelvic floor might not have as much tension. That pelvic floor tension you may feel is actually a lack of glute activating. So we might want to just work on the glutes if they're going like this rather than the pelvic floor. So this is all about information. Again, information and awareness can lead us to more productive change because we aren't just guessing. All of the information that we gather with awareness guides us to our next step.